How are we, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Radam Royce. We're back here with Aether Vision. We have today Eddie, Edit, Mr. Maradona, the man himself from Cabinet Noir. So what have we got here, bro?
For the off-white Prestos, one of my beaters. I love this shoe.
And this also looks like a beater. It's Vapor Max, but it's very nice, man. That's really dope.
Acronym collab.
There's an acronym collab, yeah. You know, a lot of brands and a lot of companies, I feel like, you know, it takes from what it is as a youngster, you know.
To be fair, like I grew up in the alternative rock kind of
wow.
era. That was like my scene before I got into hip hop. Then I got into hip hop trying to be cool. You know, I was just like, you know, there was someone I wanted to impress. I was like, oh yeah, I actually like hip hop. I want to get into it. From there, I just discovered b-boying or breakdancing, a lot of people call it.
Yeah.
And that just kind of like changed my life really. Because I know as a kid, zero self-confidence, you know, being immigrant kid, like you don't really like, you can't really connect with the school kids, just like different culture, you know. I used to bring my nasi goreng to school and people used to laugh at me. And you know, that's the sort of shit that we had to deal with. But then like finding hip hop, that was kind of like, finding b-boying, that was kind of like, you know, our way out really.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, in hip hop, it's like, you know, not only you build a character, but you know, you build your whole look. So from top to bottom, you have your own style. If someone's wearing a hat like this, I wear it like that, you know?
Yeah, with all race and all that stuff, like, I feel like that is actually evolved as well into Cabinet Noir, and I still can sort of see that connection in between the both.
You know the right meaning of all race. You know, we people don't even know how to say it properly. All race, all rise. And the name came from all races. That's how when we started the brand.
Yep.
I guess same with you. With Gift, we started at the same time. But back then it was different. You know, like brands was different, like style was different.
Yep.
There's no internet. Like, there was internet, but there was like, you can't just Google how to start a brand and then 100 videos come up.
So
right?
true.
It was more like, how do I, you know, where do you find manufacturing? And no one would tell you like how to find, where to find manufacturing and stuff like that.
Running around in the middle of the night, pasting up A0s and then getting them ripped down the next day.
Yeah, you go on a forum, it's like, you type on forums like, hey man, where'd you get your hat made? Like, you know, no one
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the era is different now, like where people are becoming more sheep. It's like, you know, where becoming a designer is a trend, or you know, being in fashion is a trend. But I guess like what we took is from our era is more like how hard it is to get to where we are. It's not as easy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, kids who have done it well nowadays, I'm like, oh shit, like they made it through. Like, you know, like I have to learn the new way too, because if you just stuck in the old way, you just end up behind. You know, you just keep hating on the new way. You're gonna end up behind.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know what I mean? Finding that new wave in terms of like the new internet revolution was something was so hard to grasp for me personally. I'm not too sure about you, but like being on top of Instagram, and you know, sometimes you're as fast as someone scrolls down on the internet on the Instagram. You know what I mean? Like you're best as your last post, and you would just have to go with the times, and it sometimes can be quite stressful, and I can definitely can relate. I've noticed you have done some collaborations now with Banks for Sylvester.
We've done a lot of collaboration, but you know, for us, collaboration is not just like, it shouldn't be slapping logos together. It shouldn't be like, so for us, like collaboration it's a partnership. For us, it's like we build our name, we build our platform, and you should also have done your homework, and then together, like we should make sense. It should be in sync.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like with Banks, like in sync, they're in music and in the culture.
Of course.
So that partnership just became so organic.
Yeah.
And to a point where now Banks's headquarters is actually inside the shop.
Oh wow,
Do
cool.
You know what I mean? So I see like, you know, we work together to a point now. The point where it's so successful that you know, we made, you know, the Banks team now run the whole Cabinet Noir line. You know, so the whole clothing line is now produced and designed by the Banks team.
Yep.
Obviously, as we evolve, and we're like, holy shit, like, when did we actually become in sync? Do you know what I mean? We looked at it, hang on, we're heading the same way, like, let's go. It's like so many times we've been hit up by so many brands, hey, let's do collabs. Like, well, why? Do you know, what does it do?
For sure.
You know, what are we going to tell a story of?
Yeah, that's it. I think a story is the most important sort of thing in terms of a collaboration. If there's no story, there's no substance. And I think that's what a lot of people sort of find in terms of being able to follow a brand or a concept or anything in that terms of sort of branding it needs to have a story, and the story is what sort of entails the whole collection. And I definitely see that in what you guys have done, and I think that's absolutely amazing. Moving on to fashion, I guess you've recently started a brand, Never Drinking Again.
It was a joke, every morning I'm like, never drink again. And then I was just joking around one time. I was having a drink with my friend. Hey man, I might start a t-shirt brand called Never Drink Again. Yeah. And they all loved it so much to the point where like, you know what, you should do it. Right now it's still not a proper brand, it's just like a fun things to do, like nothing
it's
too
where it all starts though, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm like, I want to see where it goes. But I've got so much on my plate already at the moment, so many new projects.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm not like trying to rush into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch on what we're actually going through. Obviously, at this moment, a lot of the world is still in isolation, and a lot of people are, are still very sick, and there's a lot of deaths and all that kind of stuff. But I want to just touch on personally, I guess, in a mental sort of thing. What have you been doing apart from business and all that kind of stuff, just to kind of give people an insight on like, what is it? How did it feel? You know what I mean? Like owning a business, not feeling sure, that sort of feeling where the sense of uncertainty, which I totally felt as well. Like I'd love to just sort of touch on that for you personally, if that's okay.
Well, like I've gone through a lot of like mindset training. Like personally, I've gone through like a period where I'm just like, trying to question like, why am I feeling sad or anxious or depressed, whatever, right? Whatever. There's this guy. He has a teaching. His name is Earl Nightingale, from an old school guy. You probably heard Napoleon Hill from that book Think and Grow Rich, teaching to Earl Nightingale, and then he taught Earl Shoaff and Jim Rohn to Tony Robbins and all that. Like the most influential people have learned his teaching. And one of them was talking about how to how to be positive, how to have positive thinking for 30 days straight.
Oh wow!
So you can't have negative thoughts at all. And naturally, human beings have negative thoughts. Like you just like someone give you $10,000. The first thing you ask is, what's the catch? Hang on, what's behind this? What's the meaning of this?
Motive,
right? So what's the motive behind you giving me the present? Instead of like, oh, thank you. So I started doing that for 7 days. Where anything bad that happened to me, I'd just be like, trying to see it from a positive light.
Yeah.
So anything that goes, for example, my car got clamped. I'm like, oh wow, like I've never experienced my car got clamped before. Because I parked the wrong place. And because of that, I was just laughing it off. And then like a series of bad things just started happen, but then I don't see it as a negative thing. Just trying to see it from a positive thing. You know what I mean? So it's there's a saying like you look at glass half full rather than half empty, right? So that's very true. And once you start getting into that positive mindset, it's hard to feel sad. It's hard to have a bad day anymore because you never have a bad day.
No, that's right.
You know what I mean? So you start having even this coronavirus, I see only the good things from it. The oscillation's been really good. I see neighbors saying hi now instead of doing their own thing. People are less rushing into into trying to get shit done. So there's a lot of positive behind this coronavirus. People coming together, and I've seen egos lost. Like people who normally
so true,
being a dick, suddenly hey, they've got more time to kind of be nice.
Everyone's obviously going through really tough times in that, and that's totally understandable. And that I also want to say that there's obviously a lot of people that can help you get out of these ruts. That you can build towards that. And it's a sense of repetition and a sense of what's missing in your life to go, wait, exercise maybe was missing, or speaking to your loved ones all the time was missing, or something like that. You got time to stop and breathe, which is really amazing. And I feel like Eddie really touched on that really well. How are you going with the sneakers there, actually?
I've been scrubbing it. I don't know if it's clean. I think it's good.
Somewhat white.
Yeah, somewhat is white.
I guess they are off-white, so...
Yeah.
What is your latest and most favourite tattoo?
I don't know.
You don't know? Which one's your last one? Because every time I see it, you've got another
I had this
tattoo on you.
girl on my rib here. This is my last one, holding a gun.
Okay.
I had Cabinet Noir on the back of my head. That was out of impulse. Yeah, so that was my business card.
Yeah.
I don't know, the ones that I thought about it less and less. When I was come up in the in the morning, I'm like, I want to get this done. That's like my favorite, you know, like the tequila tattoo, the Playboy, the alien, just, you know. Like when I was starting getting into it, it's like, man, I really want to like have meanings, you know, this symbolically have to have this representation. And I'm like, if it doesn't look good, it doesn't
it's like whatever now. It's,
whatever.
Whatever, I'm
like,
happy with.
I just look at blank space. What can I put in there?
Yeah,
so
that's it.
Yeah.